Hey guys, Drifter here. I'd like to pose a question to you that is also the subject of that commentary, that being, does college matter? The gameplay that you're seeing right now is me using the SMR with a millimeter scanner, quick draw handle, and stock. I am going in on people, struggling a little bit in the beginning, and it feels like I'm barely surviving this game, but as I'm barely surviving, I'm killing people and actually going on streaks without noticing it because it feels like I'm struggling so much. It's that time of the year again. People are graduating high school. Some of them are graduating college or middle school or something, but I'm getting a lot of high school graduation messages in my inbox. A lot of people are concerned about their future. Parents are kicking them out. They have to move on with their life. They're looking for college majors. Some people in college, they did their first year. They're not liking it. They're looking for some advice. Also, since I'm shopping for houses, families are breaking up when kids are moving out, that sort of thing. It's influencing the price of the houses that I'm buying, so I thought it would make a relevant commentary topic. I'm going to start off with some negative things about college, and then we're going to talk about a few of the positive things. One of the big negative things that most people don't realize is that between 30 and 50% of people do not graduate college. They drop out, they get a job, they get pregnant, they get married. Something happens in their life that prevents them from graduating college. It's usually labeled as a dropout. The reality is that life is more complicated than just dropping out because you can't hack it. But let's just say, for an offhand figure, only about 40% of people are ever going to graduate college. That means if you are in a university, look to your left and to your right, one of those people probably isn't going to be there by the time you graduate. Very few people ever finish in the same major that they start. This was very true for me in engineering. I started off with about 304, 305 students. We graduated with a class of 41, and that was after 5 years too. Not a lot of people do engineering in 4 years. The biggest problem with college, the thing that most of you need to be aware of, many of you are aware of these days with the internet, it makes the knowledge a little bit more public than it used to be, and that's that college loan debt is a very, very burdensome thing for young people. Imagine if you had something like an invisible mortgage. You go to college for 4 years, you don't pay any debt on it, everything's fine. As soon as you graduate, you have to start paying on a huge debt. It could be anywhere between $50,000, which I would be considering like a sports car or a nice Mustang or something, with all the features, or it could be all the way up to $150,000 if you got a professional degree, a doctorate, a master's. It could be upwards maybe $200,000, $250,000. It's like having, like I said, an invisible mortgage. It's like, hey bro, I heard you like mortgages, so I put a mortgage in your mortgage so you can mortgage while you mortgage and make double payments. This is something that wasn't as true for the older generations, the baby boomers, the people that say they started with nothing, they had lower interest rates. College, when you adjust for inflation, was more affordable. It was a more doable thing. It wasn't an easy thing. It also was not the common thing. That was an amazing wall bang right there. That's why I like the millimeter scanner, which leads to the next thing about jobs and college, is that now that college is a more common thing, now that it is the destination after high school, now that there are high schools that exist usually in the private school system solely as college preparatory schools and not necessarily your traditional sort of get your GED, get your diploma high school, college degrees are becoming less valuable. A college degree now is more like a high school degree probably 20, 30 years ago, and it's expected in the next maybe 15 to 20 years, actually because of the acceleration of the degree program, maybe somewhere in the next 10 to 15 years, that your standard bachelor's degree in college is only going to be as useful as, say, a master's degree now. So it's going to continue to just step on, I got that backwards, that a master's degree in college is only going to be as useful as perhaps a bachelor's degree or 4-year degree now. So this is a very scary thing, and because of this degree inflation, because of the frequency of that, you also have grade inflation. That's a problem. But this means that all this typical college job, like you go to college, your first job is going to pay you 50, 60K a year. You're going to be rich, you're going to be successful, and you're going to work for a big company. This is slowly starting to vanish. A lot of people are getting degrees and finding out that they have to go to an entry-level job. So a lot of times, let's be optimistic here, this entry-level job is more of a training position where you do the entry-level for a couple of years, just a couple more years on top of your education, and then you get moved up. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the degrees are not as valuable as they should be. Some degrees have, let's say the college will market them as being very valuable, that you will be successful, when the reality is very different. I'm going to pick on some degrees here. Let's say bachelor's degree in any sort of psychology or therapy, probably not a good idea. Bachelor's degrees in businesses in business administration or accounting or, management or something like that are becoming less and less valuable over time. Companies are starting to look more for master's degree in that. Sciences are a mixed bag. If you're looking to work in a lab or something, bachelors are good. If you're looking to do hard research or lead a research team, you're looking for master's degree. So that's a big problem. The dream is starting to change, and people aren't necessarily getting the reward that they want to get. And there's also a ton of people that use their degrees properly. This is probably the most confusing thing about college. Or at least the most confusing thing when you talk to people about their post-college experience. I'm going to give you some examples here of people that have degrees in something but absolutely don't use them. I know a person that has a degree in quality assurance engineering, but they work as the manager, the head of an HR branch in a big corporation. So they're head of HR, but they have a degree in quality assurance engineering. I know a guy that got a degree in aerospace engineering. That is literally rocket science and spaceships and missiles and airplanes. He works on refrigerators, albeit it's relevant, it's the airflow. I know somebody that got an MBA, Master's of Business Administration. Thankfully, the job he got was relevant. It's a sort of business development, mid-level management, very, normal for MBA, room for growth, that sort of thing if the performance is there. I know somebody that got a bachelor's in marketing, but they own a photography studio, and that's how they make their living. My wife, she got a degree in nursing. She is a nurse. That sort of job, that availability, that path does exist. It is there. You can sometimes, on a degree like nursing anyway, you just go straight into what you got your degree in. I know somebody that has a degree in film production, but they do computer repair and tech support. Myself, for those of you that may not know this channel, I have a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I have a master's degree in business administration, and I play Call of Duty for a living. This YouTube channel is my living. That's how I pay my bills and keep my wife happy with all the things that she wants. And I have college degrees, and I don't use them. There's a lot of people that don't use their college degrees, or at least they don't directly use their college degrees. It kind of seems like a waste at times. So the question is, why bother? Why go to college when who cares? There's a lot of commentators that skipped out on college to do this. There's a lot of people that are skipping out on college. And you're going to go to college for three big reasons. Three reasons to go to college. Three things that I feel are important, at least from my experience. Number one, to show that you can accomplish something. Your college degree is a lot like your high school degree, or at least like the high school degree used to be. It shows that you have the tenacity to accomplish something, that you have the ability to work hard, to finish, to fight through the long fight, to go all the way in and have something to show for it. This is kind of what the high school degree used to be 20, 30 years ago, maybe 40, 50, to show that you weren't a bum, that you weren't an idiot, that you know how to work, you know how to be on a team and an organization and play by the rules and everything's good to go. This is what the college degree shows now, because high schools really are not what they used to be. Colleges, honestly, aren't what they used to be. Grade inflation is a very scary thing. I experienced it. You're going to experience it more than I am. The number two reason is that you will learn what you want to accomplish. A lot of people say you go to college not to learn something, but to learn what you want to do with your life. The number one thing that, instead of what are you going to pick your future when you're 18? You're 18, you're 19, you're going to pick your college degree and go all the way through 4, 5, maybe 6 years up to master's, and you definitely know at 18 right now what you want to do with your life? No, nobody does that. I didn't know that. Tons of people don't know that. You're going to go to college and you're going to learn what it is that you want to do. You're going to get a taste for it. You're going to get an experience with it. You're going to get internships. You're going to learn about it. And that's the big part of college, like I said in the beginning of the video, that very few people end up in the major that they started out in. And that's because they start out in something like, let's say, mechanics. We'll do engineering mechanics, and they say, man, this really sucks. I'm going to swap over to electricity. And they really like electricity. Some people, I know a girl, she started out trying to get a degree in mathematics, and she really liked mathematics, but a friend of hers convinced her to sign up for an improv comedy theater group, and she liked improv comedy more than she liked math, so she got a dual degree in theater and math, but it was more to the theater, and she just swapped over completely. People do that. You learn what it is that you have a taste for, you learn what you like. The other big thing, and this is the biggest thing, is that you learn how to learn. In order to get the college degree, in order to go all the way through, to succeed, to pass, to not get flunked out, you have to learn something. And the number one thing you're going to learn is how to learn. You're going to learn how to study. You're going to learn how to pick up new information. You're going to learn how to use professionals as a resource, because not everybody knows everything. Sometimes you need to learn how to use another person as a professional resource or tool. You need to learn how to do research online in a library, what is good research, what is bad research, how to verify, how to test, all of these other sort of things. Depending on the major, sometimes if you're doing art, you're going to learn how to make damn good art. You're going to learn how to pick up new techniques. You're going to learn how to force yourself to practice, that sort of thing, how to set up a new canvas, how to do all of the important little things that you're going to need later. And in reverse order, the most important one is the last one, is that you learn how to learn. Once you learn all the learning skills, you have a sort of toolbox of skills that you can break out. I have a degree in engineering. You would not believe how many times an engineering problem has popped up when I'm making videos. Right now, my video quality looks very good. I didn't solve this sort of problem just by throwing this stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I was very meticulous. I looked at the numbers. I learned what they did. Is this linear? Is this curvilinear? How does it work? And I tweaked it, and I used my engineering skills to make my video look good. Some people do it all by look, by feel, which would be more of an artistic thing. I did it very like a numbers way. The other thing, number two in reverse order, is that what you're choosing in college, ultimately your final degree is your path in life. That's where you think you want to go, and it gives you a very good start. You might not want to go that way. That might not be your final decision, but at least it pushes you in the right direction, and by the end of the experience, you'll have changed your mind a time or two, and you should be comfortable with changing gears and swapping your goals and dreams and being okay with it. Lastly, that degree again shows people that you're serious. When you're applying for a job, when people look at your application, the college degree on there shows this guy's serious, this guy worked hard, he put in the effort, he got the degree, he didn't flunk out, I can probably handle him. Just a little bit here at the end, I learned way more in college than I did in high school. I also learned how to be comfortable with risk and entrepreneurship and what I'm doing now. And if I hadn't gone to college, I never would have done that. On top of that this whole YouTube thing is kind of risky. My college degree is my backup plan. If this dies, I can still use my college degree, and I would like to consider myself a problem solver, which is how I've managed to survive so long here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you learned something useful, and I hope you consider college. Drifter out.